Hey everyone, I'm Isaac from Vels and Vendors, and today I'm sitting with my friends Darren and Jill from Stoic Events, and we're going to talk about a question I'm often asked: do I really need a wedding coordinator? And if so, what does a good one actually do? Guys, thank you for being here today. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, man.
All right. So for the couples that don't know you yet, who's Darren and Jill, and how did Stoic Events come to be?
Take it, babe.
All right. Well, we are high school sweethearts to start off with. We are from upstate New York, got married 30 years ago. We have 3 adult children. And then we moved to California. It was a whole different life adventure. You know, we married off 2 of our girls and fell in love with the whole wedding idea. We always have been party people. We've always, like, everyone knows if they come to Darren and Jill's house, you're going to have a party. Between the food, the decorations, everything. It's a whole 9. There's always a theme. There's always something. So we thought, how we can do this as a business. This would be fun. And we first thought it would be just like a little side gig, you know. And so we're like, okay, let's dive into this. Let's just see what we can do and where we can go. And here we are.
Okay. So
Neck deep in it.
Neck deep. How long have you guys been in it so far?
About 5 years now.
Yeah.
About 5 years.
Yeah.
Got it. So is there a couple that you just kind of naturally click with? Or like what type of couple do you find yourself just naturally clicking with?
You know, I feel like we click with a variety of couples. I feel like we're very diverse. So, because we're here to meet the people. We're here to meet the bride. We're here to calm her nerves. I'm here to be their mommy, in a sense, right?
Yeah.
You know, because I'm taking the place of, you know, the moms. So when we did our girls' weddings, my first daughter, I did it completely by myself. I did not hire a coordinator. I did the whole thing by myself. It was an adventure.
Mm-hmm. Do you wish you would have hired a coordinator?
I didn't at the time.
Okay.
However, my second daughter, I did have a coordinator. Way different experience. So then looking back at my first daughter, I wish I did because I would have enjoyed it so much more. Like, you know, it takes, I would have just have enjoyed it. I don't remember half of her wedding because I was too busy running around making sure everybody was set up and the caterer was doing what the caterer is supposed to do. And
You were working.
And also trying to greet the guests because they were also my guests, you know? So it was just like this crazy thing. So, you know, when we sit down and talk to brides and grooms, we're also interviewing them because we want to make sure that we all can plan this together.
Right.
You know, they have to like me. I have to like them, though.
Right.
I don't want a bride that I'm not going to be able to work with that's going to really annoy me because then I'm not going to give them the product I'm trying to give them.
Right.
You know, and we strive ourselves on excellence. So if I can't work with her, I will know right away.
Makes sense.
So I can't really put into a box who I work with because it just depends.
I understand.
Yeah.
The interview always lets you know, right?
Yeah.
I think a conversation with someone goes a long way. And if you give a free conversation, you're going to be able to know if you guys are vibing together. And that's what we do, right? We're going to try to see if it's a fit for you and see if it's a fit for us as well.
Right.
Right?
So for those couples who say, I'm organized, do I really need a coordinator? From your perspective, what is something that you feel that most couples often underestimate?
How much work goes into that day of? Sure, you can be organized. You can have all the boxes labeled. You can, you know, and it really kind of depends on a couple of different things. So like some venues, you get to decorate and set up the day before, which is fantastic. Others, you cannot. You only have 6 hours to set up and decorate. Well, you're also supposed to be getting hair and makeup done, getting your dress on, getting those pictures, enjoying your time with your girls, with your mom, with your soon-to-be mother-in-law. So who is taking care of the last-minute stuff? Who is talking to all the vendors that are coming in? And who's telling them where they need to set up? Where's that communication? Is that going to be on the bride? Oh, no, wait. Is it going to be on the mom? Oh, no. How about the bridesmaids? Somebody's missing the experience.
Right.
It's now making an experience that's supposed to be enjoyable to chaotic, stressful, and hectic. And there are so many nerves before you walk down that aisle that's the last thing you have to worry about. You should be able to be sitting down, relaxing, getting pretty, having your mimosas, whatever, but not worrying about these details. You have somebody that is your teammate that is out there making sure that every detail is taken care of and that when you come out, everything's exactly the way you expect it to be.
Darren, you have anything to add to that?
Ditto.
Okay, perfect. So what is something you find yourselves routinely taking care of that most couples never realize would be an issue?
I'll take that one. I think your timeline every event gets a little hiccup in it. And I think that your event, right? Your event is going to have a mistake. It's going to have a hiccup. It's going to have a problem. You might have a vendor run late. You might have a bride that doesn't want to walk down the aisle on time. You might have a caterer that's got a problem. But that's what our job is, right? To make sure that these hiccups aren't seen by the bride. We manage these problems outside of them knowing it's happening to make it fluent, right? So, did that answer the question?
Yeah, and I just think that sometimes they don't understand that they're going to be whisked away so much that they can go ahead and create their own timeline. I've literally had brides that have done that. They created their own timeline on ChatGPT. And I had to educate them. Like, this is not how I do my timelines. I will show you how I do my timelines. Can we maybe fill it in differently? And there, some will budge and some won't budge, right? I didn't get hired for them to necessarily use my timeline. I got hired for them to have a great day in the experience. So I will accommodate that, but I will give them all the forewarning beforehand.
Right.
But so they can go ahead and create that timeline, but who is running that timeline? What if Aunt Sally's running late and she's an important part of the pictures, right? Well, that's where we come in, where I can say, I'll go to the DJ, hey, we're running just 5 minutes behind. Go to the caterer, 5 minutes. We want the food nice and hot still, but we'll catch that back up. I'm going to talk to the photographer. Maybe they can like speed up pictures, and we'll, there's ways around things, but these are things that brides don't see. They don't understand like, well, no, I've got my vendors. They're going to take care of everything. That's great. DJs like to make timelines. They need timelines for themselves because so many people don't hire coordinators, right? But who's going to run before the DJ gets there, the timeline? Who's going to take care of that? So it's because a lot of people will say that, oh, my DJ is my coordinator. Well, your DJ can't necessarily really be your coordinator unless, does your DJ plan on getting there at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Right.
I mean, I understand that DJ does do a lot of the flow during the reception and does do a lot of the help out in there, but then there's so many behind the scenes things that happen that they just don't understand.
And I can tell you, I think from most DJs' perspective, they much rather have a coordinator.
Oh, yeah.
They don't necessarily want that job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
I would hope so.
yeah. So I think.
Yeah. That's so funny.
So next question I have for you guys: can you share a moment when having a coordinator completely changed how the wedding day went?
I'll let you take that one.
Which one was that we talked about?
The generator.
Oh yeah. We had an event at a venue where they didn't have the proper power, right? We were trying to think of there's so many times that you have problems as a coordinator, and it's a fire going off. It might be a big fire, it might be a little fire. This was a big fire.
This was on a Friday, so we
Yeah.
had time, and the bride and groom were right in front of us. And
The band was there setting up. They had a huge LED screen, tons of amps, and the venue didn't have power. So one of the things as a coordinator is you're making vendor relations, right, with some people who maybe can supply some of these things. So we were able to pull the trigger on that, right? We were able to call one of our suppliers and get that done that day.
Yeah.
Right? So
on a day that they don't normally deliver and at a very reasonable price.
yeah, a lot of people have bands, right? And they don't understand a lot of bands are going to take 220 power, right? And if your venue doesn't have 220 power, or if it's on the other side of the house, that's something you need to be very aware of. But people are booking bands all the time, but they don't know the power, right? So if you have alliances with people, vendors, that comes in clutch when you have some fires going off, and that's what we try to do. We try to keep those people close to us.
Right.
So
when couples hire a coordinator, who do you feel like you're really protecting? Is it the couple? Is it the vendors? Is it the families?
it's everybody.
It's definitely the couple. Yeah, it is everybody. The couple, it's the bride from her stress so she can enjoy the day. A wedding is an investment. I know some people have a smaller budget wedding, but then there's people that have a larger budget wedding. Whatever the budget is, it's still an investment at the end of the day. So hiring a coordinator protects that investment. You get to actually enjoy your day. The mom gets to enjoy her day. So the family gets to enjoy. They're not having to worry about when the grand entrance is. They're not having to worry about, again, who's showing up and who hasn't shown up yet. They're not worried about any of that stuff. And then also the vendors, because now you have one person that you get to talk to. You don't have to hunt down mom. You don't have to hunt down cousin. You don't have to hunt down anybody. This is the person that's in charge. I'm going to go to her or him for anything that I need at that moment.
Right.
It makes it so much easier. It streamlines everything.
You guys are a stress reducer.
Yes.
You got to look at your coordinator like even if you don't choose Stoic Events, right? Your coordinator is like your team leader. They're the person who's going to go around, make sure the vendors are okay, make sure the bridal party is okay, make sure the parking lot attendants are okay. You got to make sure all these things are moving, because if there's a hiccup somewhere, it's your job to alleviate that.
Wow. Speaking of all the coordinators being out there, what do you think makes Stoic Events different in how you guys approach weddings?
I think you're looking at it. And by that I mean you have a male and a female, right? We're a team, and we come as a team. Whether we're doing the officiant services or we do coordination services, we come as a team. And the reason why we come as a team is because it's 2 more eyes on your project, right? And it's no more money. So that's something that we really, really pride ourselves on first and foremost, right? But so what? You got another person, right? What we really pride ourselves on is that we'll work with anybody with any budget. Anybody with any budget. There's a lot of people in the wedding industry that say, I'm high market dollar, I'm middle. We don't care who you are. We want to talk about your budget and see how we can work together. And I think that's a special thing that we have, right? We like to travel too. We've been to New York, we've been to the coast, we've been to Paso, we've been to a lot of places. So we want to travel with you guys. We want to go where you want to go, and we want to do your vision. I think that's the difference, right? We're going to listen to what you do, what you want to do before we give our opinions.
Well, and I feel like we're also very educated. I did take a course several years ago online to be a wedding coordinator. So I am certified. I've taken other classes. I don't know if you ever heard of Jamie Wolfert and Co. So I did take her whole entire course on becoming a coordinator. And so I have that. That's not necessarily a certification, but I'm always trying to educate myself, learn more, listen to what other people are doing. That shows me what to do or what not to do, right? And it's been a process, but I think education is a big thing that a lot of people are not doing in the industry. And I think that that's something that definitely sets us apart, because we are constantly educating ourselves on the industry, where we're going, what we're doing, what our next moves are. We're not staying here just Stoic Events as coordinators. This is not our start and stop. This is just our start.
Well, I think I speak for all vendors when I say thank you so much for doing that. Thank you for investing that time and just being great. And, not just the experience, but the education side. What kind of couple would you say thrives with you? And what kind of couple might not be the best fit?
Well, it's about the interview process, right? Jill and I come from business management, running teams, right? So if we're going to interview somebody, you're going to interview Stoic Events. We need to feel right and appropriate for your event, whatever that is.
Well, and I also think that there is an element of trust. I need you to trust me, that I have your best interest at heart. And if you do not trust me, then you are not my bride. Because there are times that you have to make decisions, and you can't always ask the bride. And she has to be able to say, I trust that Darren and Jill know what they're doing, and I'm going to let it go. That's the kind of bride I'm looking for. The bride that's going to nitpick every little thing I do, or say, oh, there's only 4 springs of greenery in there and I wanted 5, that's not a bride for me.
Right.
That's just not a bride for me. I don't work like that. Like, I'm doing so much that day to help you, and I want you to just trust my judgment. I know what you want. I know your vision, and I'm going to do my everything to give you exactly what you want in your vision. But if you're going to nitpick every little thing or talk down to me, I don't play like that.
Right. Yeah, I
Respect,
completely understand.
right? Yeah.
I completely understand. So as someone who works with coordinators all the time, what do you think vendors appreciate most about working with the two of you?
Oh, it's upfront communication. Absolutely. And that's the number one word that has failed events written all over it: communication. It's the number one thing. Get in front of it, good eye contact while you're talking to them, and letting them know that they're heard, right? But
we always make sure all of our vendors are taken care of.
yeah.
Because a lot of vendors need to be fed. So DJs can't always walk away from their booth to go get food. Not all DJs come tandem. Some only come one. People forget about the bartenders. They need to eat too.
Let me interject. A lot of people in the wedding industry would interject and say, that's not your job title. And we do a lot of things outside of our job title because we're a team. We're allowed to run a plate of food to the bride and groom. Yeah, that's what coordinators do, right? We bring a plate to the bride and groom, but we'll also run plates to the DJs. We'll make sure the photographers are being fed. So it's, when we say team leader, we mean true sense of the word. You're leading the entire team. You're not just showing up and seeing what's happening. You're leading the vendors, you're leading the part, you're leading everyone in an authoritative, respectful way.
And I think one other thing is going back to kind of communication, in the day and age that everything's technology driven, we give them our cell phone numbers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Both of ours.
Text us.
You can text me. You don't have to call me. You can text me. That's fine. Some people have problems with that. Some people want the old-fashioned way where they just want emails or they just want phone calls. Email me, text me, call me. Whatever you are comfortable with, whatever works for you, works for me. Just, you need to communicate.
If you get on our social media, at the end of all of our social media, it all says text us, text us, text us, because we want to be accessible right now. And that's part of communication, and that's leadership, is being accessible. Oh, it's 5 o'clock at night, but we're already booked. You got a question, you're worried. That's our job, to appease you and to make sure your fears have subsided.
And I don't want to work with any vendor that's afraid to approach me.
Yeah.
I always want to be approachable.
Yeah.
We work as a team. That's how we.
Have you worked with a vendor that's afraid to approach you?
Yes.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay,
it
Quite a few,
wasn't
yeah.
necessarily a vendor. It was more like somebody that's very, very new to the industry and only
Okay.
does it like on a side and just kind of like, I don't know. I'm like, no. What do you? Just tell me what you need. I got you.
People have that, and people have that impression, right? Like, say they're new in the industry, they're a new DJ, a new coordinator, new whatever vendor, and they see someone. Oh, I can't. Man, they got to get over that.
Yeah.
They got to be able to come and approach, because we're not like that. And we want to talk to people who are in the industry to help them and guide them a little bit more, because that's what we needed when we were younger. So there's room for people.
I'm glad you guys shared that.
Yeah,
Because I think a lot of times, couples will have a friend that's the photographer or DJ, and they could use that extra little
Yeah.
bit of guidance. So
Yeah.
that is so cool that you guys put that on the camera. If you guys could give a piece of advice to couples early in the planning process about coordination, what would it be?
I would say that it's not a luxury; it's a necessity, and it goes back to what I said before. This is an investment that you're making. It's a large investment that you're making, and you need to protect that. Like when you get that diamond ring, what do? You get insurance on that diamond ring, right? Why? Because you're afraid it might fall off, you might lose it, a diamond might fall out. It's the same thing with a wedding coordinator. Hiring a wedding coordinator early on helps you make sure you have the right vendors, first of all, because trying to find vendors that you don't know, it's like, there's a million of them. So you want to make sure you get the right ones. Some of them are not good.
trustworthy,
Some of them
reputable.
are just not good. And you don't know that. Look, you don't know what you don't know,
Right.
right?
Yep.
So we're here to educate you. And if you hire your bride, or your coordinator early enough, then you can educate your bride along the process. So it eliminates that stress before it even happens.
Right.
That's the best thing I love, is when I get a bride that really takes everything that I say into consideration, and then I have the best vendor team. It's hands down, they're going to have the best day of their life.
It's a
The
victory
best
every
day of their
time.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
So.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly why I wanted you guys here. I believe that everything we talked about matters, and most couples don't hear this early enough in the process.
Yeah.
And if you're engaged and you didn't know if a wedding coordinator was worth having, I hope this video actually brings some clarity. And if you're looking for a wedding coordinator, Darren and Jill here from Stoic Events, I believe, is a great place to start. If someone wanted to get a hold of you guys, how would they do so?
They can either email me, jill@stoicevents.net, call me, my number is 559-475-1578, or go to our website, and that's stoicevents.net.
Awesome.
And if you don't want to talk, you can text.
Perfect. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I
Thanks, buddy.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. One last, anything else you might want to add before we take off here?
No, I think we're good.
Don't worry about the little stuff. It's all going to work out for you. If you're planning an event, don't get worked up. It all works out. It always works out, right?
All right. Sounds cool.